Happy 4th of July. This is the birth of our great nation 249 years ago. This nation was born with the principles of "In God We Trust," separation of powers, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of choice, freedom of the press, and freedom across the board. But there are forces out there, ladies and gentlemen, who are trying to diminish and pollute and destroy the mindset of the United States American youth, the future of the American Constitution. The United States Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, was born in a beautiful, beautiful area called Philadelphia. The first Continental Congress, when a Declaration of Independence was signed, was formatted and with foresight, as we see today, the juncture that we have reached, biblical times of some sort had inspired the writing and drafting of the United States Constitution. This spiritual drive that they had when the First Continental Congress signed into effect and broke away from the British Crown colony and formed the own country called the United States of America. The 13 original colonies were formed and unified. What we have today is how many states and how many territories and how many people want to become a part of the United States of America. If you look at Puerto Rico, years and years and years ago, when it was its own nation, they came to the United States for better health care, for a better life, because in modern times they were failing. Now, some individuals have allied themselves with Black Lives Matter movement, Barack Hussein Obama, Antifa, George Soros, and others, to undermine and dissolve the United States Constitution. On the birth of our great nation today, we celebrate not only the freedom that we have, but also we celebrate the lives of those men who shed their blood. And if you have the time, look and listen to the person who drafted the national anthem. That tells a story in itself. "Oh, say can you see," by dawn's early light. The battle was through the night. What so proudly we hail, because we hail to each other and we hail to the President of the United States of America and each and every citizen. And we praise God and give thanks to God what lasted through the night, that our flag still stands. Oh, say can you see? They seen the flag from ashore. The whole British fleet bombarded Fort McHenry with everything they had. And it took bodies upon top of bodies to keep up that flag, the Union Jack. When every ship pulls in port, all hands on deck, wherever they are, when they hear ship's colors and the blast of the whistle 3 times, pay homage to the flag being raised of the United States of America on the stern of every ship in the fleet that moors. So again, ladies and gentlemen, know your history. Get to back your president. Get to fight to have the children taught in school and bring back the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Because this is what teaches and makes a man become a man that is never broken. And remember one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ said when he came upon 2 people going to be stoned to death on the outskirts of a town, he said, let the first man who has no sin throw the first stone. And they all dropped their stones. Let the Democrats, or shall we say Demorats, the parasites of the United States of America, look in the mirror and then point the finger at who has skeletons in their closet. I wish I could go into a position and have a wife and I enter my office with a net worth of $3.8 million and come home with a net worth after a few years of over $570 million, a $300 million yacht, a $25 million mansion on a Cape. And what Demorat is that, ladies and gentlemen? It's the domestic terrorist advisor to the domestic terrorist organization called Black Lives Matter Movement of Oakland, California. Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle Obama. Joe Biden and the Biden crime family tried me, convicted me based upon a false United States Army career record. I never was in the Army and wouldn't want to be associated to the Army because in 1980s, when I was tried before a court-martial, the United States Army was the only branch of the military that would stand guard duty and watch me get put in jail by a United States Code of Military Justice tribunal. This, ladies and gentlemen, is true, and it can be seen in U.S. versus Rizzoli, 12 CR 550, tried before Denise Cote, and prosecuted by who? The former U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, while he was an assistant U.S. Attorney under Preet Bharara. All appointees by who? Joe Biden and Barack Hussein Obama. Which judge? Denise Cote, a Barack Hussein Obama appointee. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this day today, let's pay respect to our flag and to our U.S. citizens, and let's pay respect to each other, mainly because you are a United States of America born citizen. You are entitled to the full umbrella of protection of the United States Constitution. And you alone, can exercise that vote in November of 2025 and put into power those individuals in your states. Jack Ciattarelli is governor of the state of New Jersey. The mayor's race in the city of New York, very important position. One of the only cities looked upon besides Paris and Rome and the Kremlin. So again, the importance of your vote and the integrity of such votes need to be maintained. The integrity of such votes need to be maintained, which are not being maintained and are being corrupted and distorted. There are people that don't show IDs, that don't even look old enough to vote, but they say a person's name and their address, and they're given a contested ballot via affidavit. Never seen that before a day in my life. Never seen it. And I've been in all different countries, from Southeast Asia to the Middle East, and there has never even been one iota close to what I've seen in the United States of America. You would think those polls were of a third world nation where corruption is rampant. This is how the Democrats stole the election from Donald Trump before. So again, ladies and gentlemen, happy 4th of July. Wake up, smell the coffee, and remember, the big, beautiful bill is from that big, beautiful White House with big, beautiful cabinet members that advise our big, powerful, strong president, who is looked upon by every world leader as a man of respect and a man to respect. And if you do not respect every American that walks on the shores in their country and think that they can hurt them, Donald Trump, our president, and J.D. Vance, our vice president, our Secretary of State, and military leaders will come down and rain terror on your country until our countrymen is put back in 100% working order on the shores of the United States of America. That is the respect that we commend now in the world today. God bless America. God bless our troops, both domestically and serving on overseas. God bless J.D. Vance, a former military person from the Marines, which the aviation, I got to say one thing, no disrespect, Mr. Vice President, but the Navy, the Department of Navy owns the Marine Corps. And the United States Navy SEALs are the elite of the elite. So, no disrespect now. And God bless our dear President of the United States of America and the First Lady for having faith in him and staying with him through thick and thin after all the mudslinging that they did. Thank you very much. And God bless the Second Lady too, because that is a pure family. That is a family of military respect and military history. There ain't one reporter that can say a bad thing about a person of J.D. Vance's tenure because he served overseas and willfully and knowingly was going to give his life for the United States Constitution and what we celebrate today. The spirit of 76. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. The spirit of 76 lives today in 2025. God bless America and God bless you all.